Hello everybody, I am the Traveler and welcome back to Fare Thee Well. Uh, I don't even remember what I was going to say coming up on signing this, so I'm just going to get started. I nod to the bartender and make my way to a local motel to rest up for the night. The next morning I arrive early enough to help the bartender with the tables, stools, and chairs. The worn wood seems to embody the place as a whole, well worn with time and filled with warmth. I take a seat in front of the bar as the old man organizes the rainbow of colored glass bottles behind it. Calm down, son. You think someone with as much experience as you would have learned to deal with these situations. Saying goodbye is easy, but the returns and the greetings. The old man met my eyes and inclined his head toward the door, making my best effort to keep my door unnoticed. Making my best effort to keep my door. Making my best effort to keep my door. Do you mean composure? Making your best effort to keep your... Why would you... What door are you talking about? That actually confused my brain. Like, my brain just stopped and could not move past that sentence. Like, did I read that right? I cannot possibly be reading that right. Okay. Anyway, I noticed Emmeline and her son, probably around 7 years old, an inquisitive blue-eyed boy with brown hair. Emmeline glances around the bar and seems mildly disappointed. Her gaze flits over me as it would one of the tables. She approaches the man. You set out without me? Sorry, Em. I should have mentioned earlier that I have a new employee in training. He helped me this morning. We'll have the stage to set up, though. I'll get you some work yet. She looks at me directly for the first time, but there is no spark of memory in her eyes. Only the casual friendliness of someone greeting a new acquaintance. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Emmeline, and this is my son Michael. I think that's the voice range I gave her. Michael plays with the collar of his shirt and averts his eyes. Hi. I give him a smile and wave, and then extend my hand to Emmeline. She shakes it. I take a page out of Michael's book. I'm too nervous to meet her gaze directly for too long. It's nice to meet you both. Right, well, that stage isn't going to set up itself. Why don't you and Michael teach this greenie here the ropes? I've got a few more glasses to clean. Emmeline nods and gestures for Michael to follow her to the stage. Have you ever worked in a bar before? I know my way around one. Don't we all? Michael climbs up the front of the stage and seems to be opening a bin that contained the cables. How old are you? 25? I'm a little older than I look. I'm assuming he's done this before? That's been my question since I learned his secret. How old is he? 100? 200? 1,000? I want to know. Emmeline walks beside the stage to retrieve a broom and a dustpan before starting to sweep behind the speakers, amps, and other sound equipment. Yeah, he loves to listen to music, so this is right up his alley. It's karaoke night tonight, so the setup will be a little different. I set about putting the microphone center stage, and I feel something nudge my leg. I see Michael holding a cable toward me. That one goes with this one. Oh, thanks. What kind of music do you enjoy, Michael? I take the cable he offered me and hook it up. Surely enough, the audio jack and ports are the correct sizes, and the cable is long enough to walk around the stage with if necessary. The stray cats and He looks at his mother for answers, looking anxious. You remember? Depeche mode? Depeche? Is that the correct pronunciation of that? Is it Depeche or Depeche? Do I pronounce it with a ch or a... Do I pronounce it in German? I don't know. Sometimes you listen to Michael Jackson. I'm more of a Simon and Garfunkel gal myself. The new stuff isn't bad, but there's something about the acoustic guitars. It brings to mind the open road and people singing in new bars, soft atmosphere, and good crowd. Emmeline looks back at me and gives me a genuine smile. Not the practiced friendliness of polite greetings, but something with altogether more substance. Michael and I finished setting up all the relevant chords. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Well, it's about time. I have to get Michael to school. Emmeline waves goodbye to the bartender and takes Michael's hand, walking towards the door. Same time tomorrow. Have a good day. Emmeline pauses before she reaches the door and freezes in place. At first I wonder if she had forgotten something, but then she turns, and I see it. That spark of remembrance, the warmth in her eyes that signifies memory. Now she knows who I am. She remembers that night 2 decades past. She brings a hand to her cheek as Michael tugs at his shirt. Mommy, are you alright? I'm alright. Let's get you to school. I sigh and lean against the worn mahogany of the bar, and I can hear the bartender pouring a glass of something. I don't bother to turn around. My eyes are fixed on the road, watching them drive away. Well, you couldn't have been expecting anything else, could you? No, I couldn't have. Do you want to hear the story of that winter night? Yeah, why not? This is for you, by the way. Looks like you could use it. On the house. I try not to pick it up and take a sip, but my gaze remains on the road. Emmeline is long gone by now, but I can't bring myself to look inside again. Not just yet. I don't know how much you remember. Em and I left after talking. Really bonding, you know? At one of those tables by that window. I gestured in the general direction with the finger extended from my hand that held the drink. The brownish fluid sloshed around behind the intricate lines in the glass, and I realized that it was the same kind I'd used that night so many years ago. We walked out of this place together and explored the town after dark. We sat on that bench overlooking the snow, talking of ourselves. Such a simple yet meaningful thing, sitting close and talking. I brought up the legend of the Wanderer. I didn't think she'd take it seriously. But she did. She listened, and in the end, she identified with it. Of course, you know, Emmeline's story, how she got here. She's every bit as much wanderlust as I did. I take a sip from my glass and turn around before looking into the cup. Or had, I guess, everyone else. Or had. I guess everyone else like me eventually grows out of that phase. I suppose a part of me realized it then. I didn't want to break her heart, so I just left. Ultimately, I shouldn't be surprised that she didn't remember me at first. I'm sure she's had to deal with her share of people walking out of her life. It was only one night. It was a long night. The old man puts a comforting hand on my shoulder. You know, I didn't think Emmeline would ever settle down, but her husband, well, you'd like him. He runs the Tri-County newspaper. Takes the family camping often in the summer and autumn. Couldn't ask for a better life for her and her son in this town. I nod and hand the bartender back his glass. Thanks for the drink. And thanks for the cover earlier. Do you really need some help around here? That I do. If you want to settle in for a few years, I'd love to have you around. But you know what happens if you stay, Wanderer. You sure you want to deal with that? I ran a hand through my hair and looked outside, wondering what it'd be like to stay in this town for a few years. I think I'm going to get some fresh air. If I return, you'll know my answer. If I don't, well, you'll know just the same. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, I think I need a break for today. If it's okay with you, that is. Yeah, I'll close up shop. I'll keep everything straight, don't worry. The bartender nods, wipes a few more services and heads out. He gives me one last fleeting smile before the door closes. Before the door closes with an odd sense of finality. With that, I am left alone. The emptiness of the bar fills the air, silence keeping me company as it has the past 100 years. Yeah, he is over 100 years old. The familiar smells of drafts, the atmosphere of the community, made of vagabonds and travelers, friends and families, of those with homes and of those who have yet to find theirs. The familiar sense of loneliness. Have I found my home? Is this my final resting place? Is this where I'll eke out the rest of my existence, however long it may take me? I honestly don't know. The heat of the bar begins to constrict my breathing, the weight of it all crushing me, claustrophobically, the warm lights a blazing fire. Tugging at my collar, I grab my belongings and walk out of the door. It closes ever so softly behind me, the entrance framing me, engulfing me. I turn and make my way down the street. Buildings, both new and old, guide me, gradually giving way to more and more nature as I continue my journey. I find myself in front of a large, somewhat young tree. Its appearance as though to betray the true age of the form, being perhaps only 100 years old or so. This is as good a place as any, and I sit against it, allowing the trunk to support my back. I ache. I ache like an old man would, despite having no reason to. My body is fine. My body is young, despite my mind not being so. Cool air fills me, embracing me as the winds dance upon my skin. The tree responds in kind, swaying this way and that, lively, almost youthful and energetic, life only just beginning for the poor soul. I sit motionless, knowing what must come. I need to not distract myself. I have a very important decision to make. It's a simple decision, really. Something a normal person wouldn't even hesitate to answer. Do I stay, or do I go? The wind quiets down, all things listening intently to my every word, my every thought. I guess, in reality, the more important question is whether or not she would care. Does she remember me? That moment, earlier, gave me the feeling, but how could she forget that magical night? Out of my many years of existence, that is the one memory that I am certain to never lose. Maybe she just did what I never could. The air turns frigid, humid. Someone shakes me out of my lull, my trance, my thoughts and memories. Rain. It's raining. The rain continues to shake me, spreading through my clothes across my cold skin. I know what I have to do. It isn't about me. It's about everyone else, isn't it? I can't keep hurting people like this. It's for the better that I don't stay. They'd have to keep secrets, hide me away, or worse still, they'd have to die, seeing my eternal youth, seeing what they once were, and what they could never be. They'd all die, and I'd still be there, forever burying them, the job of a father at war, or a son in peace. I am not like them. I am not one of them. It is not my place to be here, to serve as a constant reminder of what they must have, and what I am fated to never feel. Shivering now, I try to stand up, to walk away from everything. I can't. My muscles refuse to respond, screaming at me, aching through and through. My heart gives out, telling me what my brain never would, never should. Don't run from this. Stay here. Don't leave her again. No. No, I can't. I can't stay here. Yet I can't leave her either. The rain penetrates the canopy, pouring over me, tearing me from my few short moments of quiet clarity. I'm sorry that you have to go through this again. I force myself through the pain, standing on my youth, with it regaining my stature. I leave the now corrupted embrace of the tree, out into the chilled weather. Looking up from my sodden boots, my vision is blocked by one thing I plan to never see again. It reads simply, Cedar, Maine. A simple representation of the place, the family that I had grown to love. The aching becomes unbearable, and I'm forced to lean against the sign, my full weight causing the sign to waver, temporarily, until it catches itself, accepting me. I cannot see the world beyond the sign, my vision entirely blocked. I've made my decision. Please, please get out of my way. The sign remains, quiet as it always was. I beg, I plead, I can't watch them die. I can't be here. Only pain will come from this. Once again I'll be alone. Once again I'll be held down by my regrets. It remains. The clouds begin to dissipate, the cold rain gone, the warm air flooding down, back to me. The crickets begin to chirp, frogs ever so loud, life filling the air. So, the decision has been made for me. I turn back from the sign, the town of Cedar, Maine, staring right back at me, expecting me to return as if it never had a second thought. The humid air clings to my skin as I make my way back to the bar. I pass the tree once again, waving its leaves in the wind, welcoming me back. I pass that. As the buildings become less sparse and the nature recedes, the bar enters my vision. I enter my home, the heat helping warm my clothes and my skin. I look at the things around me in appreciation, wiping the bar, cleaning it as if it were my own. December 2002. A lone vocalist in a violet dress takes the stage at the Hearth and Home. She appears to be close to Michael's age, who is now 24. The girl gazes at the expectant faces all around her. A hush falls over the crowd as she leans into the microphone, and her face betrays not a single emotion but pure wonder. It's almost as if she's somewhere else, remembering better times, preparing to sing to herself in a world that stood still, hanging off her every word. Haven't you used the same description before? The young woman starts to sing, and the meager audience is immediately captivated. She begins softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Rosa, come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the road, love, and I'll make the vow. And I'll be your true love forever. Her voice is beautiful and wraps around the dark air of the cold bar. I knew this song. I knew it well. Though I've heard it sung better before, I admit. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the burn. But my love is fairer than any. She has one of the best voices I've heard in all my life. I've only been this absorbed in song once before. The voice of the girl in the blue dress grows and grows and grows, only to fill the air with complete emotion, feelings seething with energy. Like her voice is an endless flowing spring, and to listen to it is to drink and drink and drink again. You've used that description before as well. That same onomatopoeia, I believe it's called. It's nice to feel this way one more time, even if it's not as strongly. The girl in the blue dress continues to sing. While she finishes Red is the Rose, and prepares for her next song, She takes a fateful step back from the microphone. Her skin beads with sweat. Her chest heaves up and down to the rhythmic beat of her exhausted heart. Her posture is tired but proud, her breath short but steady. Her eyes, somber but bright, vibrant with fire. She steps back up to the mic and keeps on singing. Across the bar stand the current employees of the Hearth and Home, Candace and Michael, the latter having taken the job his mother once held to help pay for his education. Candace and I are having a lovely conversation, but Michael's unwavering attention is set on the young performer. Hey, Michael. Candace tries to grab her employee's attention, but has little success. Mike! Hello in there! Candace gives a defeated sigh and waves a hand in front of Michael's face, jolting him back to reality. Oh, sorry, Candace. What did you need? Candace laughs at the young man. She's clearly embarrassed him, so it's no surprise that his face has become several shades redder than some of the wines behind the bar. Table 4 is waving you down for refills. Get out there, bud. Oh, right, I'm on it. Michael prepares several mugs of Josh beer, loads them onto a tray, and heads out to the floor. All the while, he pays only minimal attention to his task, still smitten by the young singer. He reminds me of a story my father would tell me. I know the story you mean, all too well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's alright. Michael returns from his waiting duties. Candace gives him a good long stare, and he blushes again. I know she's pretty, but please, do try to pay attention to our patrons, okay? Yes, ma'am. I mean, no, Candace laughs the way her father used to sometimes laugh, with her entire body, hands on her stomach, and leaning back. Michael turns away from his boss, and back to the singer. The young performer begins the last verse of her song. I remember one night in the drizzling rain. Around my heart, I felt an aching pain. Fare thee well, roll of credits. My honey, fare thee well. The song's end is met with a quiet yet suitable applause. I feel reminiscent about my similar experience in the very same bar 35 years prior. So it's been 35 years. We are already over 100. How close to 200 are we? And smile in spite of myself. I propose an idea to the young man across the bar. Why don't you buy her a drink after she finishes her set? That's ridiculous. I can't do that. I don't even know her. And how could asking possibly hurt? Besides, you don't need to know her to become friends. I'm nothing more than a stranger to her, though. Ha! Now that is ridiculous. As my father would say, strangers are just friends you haven't met. Someone's been watching the Berenstain Bears growing up. Stranger's just somebody just a friend that you haven't met. I remember that growing up from the Berenstain Bears. However, I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly anymore. But what if, Mike, you can make excuses till the sun comes up and you're blue in the face. Or you can ask the lady to have a drink with you. Michael stops his protesting and considers the words his companions have shared with him. For a moment, he looks as though he plans to ignore the advice as he has received. However, one quick glance at Candace, and I confirm that no is not an option. I guess you guys aren't giving me a choice, huh? Absolutely not. Now then, let's talk strategy. Candace and I share a laugh while Michael looks on, terrified at the prospect of whatever scheme Candace has in store. Mike, that's the end of the set. Get over there, and then ask her to join us. Candace, are you sure that's a good idea? Of course it is. All of my ideas are good ideas. If I were anyone else, I disagree. Come on, Michael, get out there. Michael closes his eyes, tenses his body, and hesitantly walks towards the stage. This ought to be good. We should be able to hear them from here. Well, you should be able to hear them from here. Senses of a damn hawk, I tell you. You flatter me. Oh, that she was speaking to me. As Rosa finishes the final verse of her set, the dwindling crowd offers up a surprising applause. After the applause dies down, Michael approaches the stage with an ounce of reluctance. Rosa, who is gathering her things, notices him and welcomes him with a greeting, catching him somewhat off guard. Candace is right. I can hear them, though just barely. Oh, hello there. You work here, right? Yeah, hello. Yeah, I work here. That classic awkward Michael charm is second to none. Well, my name is Rosa. What about you? Oh, me? I'm Michael. Rosa tucks her hair behind her ear. It's nice to meet you, Michael. Yeah, you too. Rosa raves and begins to walk away. Wait, excuse me, Rosa? Rosa turns back to face Michael. Yes? What is it? I was wondering if you're not busy, if you'd like to join my friends and I for a drink. Well, I haven't got any plans, so count me in. Michael is clearly surprised that the answer came as easy as it did. Really? Rosa stifles a giggle and smiles. Haven't got any other plans, and I'm sure you and your friends will be fun. Michael's face lights up with joy. In that case, we're sitting right over there. What are they saying? Quiet, they're coming. Oh, Michael is laying down the moves, I see. You're having too much fun with this. Candace lets a carefree laugh out. I'm not having enough fun. Hey guys, this is Rosa. After some quick introductions, Candace makes everyone drinks. These are on the house. We all cheer for Candace's hospitality together. Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Candace. That's too kind of you. I listen in as the other three around the table share their stories, occasionally pitching in my own experiences. Michael and Rosa are fast friends. Oh, damn it. My voice is gonna give out after this. Michael and Rosa are fast friends, and by the end of the first hour, the pair get along as if they'd known each other all their lives. The bar's patrons dwindle until we are the only people left in the building. But even after everyone else is gone, we stay sharing stories of loss, of hope, of dreams and regrets. Rosa begins to tell her story, and her eyes light up with childlike happiness. When I was younger, all I ever wanted to do was go to school to study music. It has always been my passion. This is 2002 now, right? Yes, 2002. So I worked at it from the time I first saw a future in it, until I had realized the dream. But the light in her eyes fades to a quiet sadness. When I finally made it to music school, it just didn't feel right. I had worked so hard for so long, year after year, but the culmination of my entire childhood led me to disappointment. But I was still determined. Never mind that I couldn't seem to make any friends or do well in my classes. Music was still my passion, so everything else be damned. Rosa wipes a tear from her cheek. For all of my effort and determination, halfway through my first year, I dropped out. I hit rock bottom. I hated myself for quitting, but I never saw an alternative. I wasn't happy. I'm sure as hell not happy now, but I'm better than I was. So I can say with certainty that I don't regret making that decision. What I'm unsure about is where I'm going now. All I have is my music and the will to keep moving forward. So since leaving school, I've been traveling wherever the music takes me. I hope that it can one day lead me to true happiness. I guess for now, I'm just along for the ride. Kindness raises her glass. Well, hell, I'll drink to that. Rosa nods gratefully to Kindness and turns to Michael. I guess I could say I understand some of those feelings. I finished school, but it hasn't really done me much good. As soon as I graduated, I came right back home to Cedar. I didn't just come back for my mother. Of course I had to, given her health these days, but even if she were in good health, I know I'd still be back here. I kind of feel like I'm in some kind of void, stuck between childhood and true adulthood. Something is holding me back and I don't know what it is. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out why. The idea that Michael is drawn back to Cedar makes me chuckle. In my experience, getting away from Cedar is one hell of a task. Not that Cedar is a bad place, mind you. It just has this pull, for lack of a better word. Candace nods in agreement. Cedar's always been good to me and mine. Candace waves her hand over her shoulder, motioning to the empty hearth and home. This old girl's been in the family for 4 generations now. My father, granddad, and great-granddad all put their lives in this place, and I'll be damned if I don't do the same. But this life isn't for everyone. Maybe you just need to broaden your horizons, see more of what's out there. Michael considers this for a moment. Maybe, but I haven't really felt like my life ever needed to start somewhere else. Then what are you missing, Mike? Michael slumps in defeat. I honestly don't know. Out of the 3 of them, I can relate the most to Rosa. She seems to feel like that is a place where she belongs. Even so, I sympathize with Michael and Candace. But unlike myself and Rosa, Candace is very deeply rooted here in Cedar. Though I've grown to consider her a close friend, we're about as different can get. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I had a thought, but I've lost it. I had an interesting thought about this whole thing, but I've lost it. But it's kind of nice to see that he's so down, and so far he hasn't had to. I guess he can't. I don't know. He hasn't had to watch anyone die. But what's happened to the girl in the green dress, Emily? Where's she at in all of this? And does everyone know his secret, or do they just figure like he just has really good genes, really good aging genes, really good longevity? I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out by the end of the next episode. Also, I'm still trying to figure out why, like, in the actual tags for this game on Steam, there was anime and memes in it. So I'm trying to figure out, like, this is kind of an anime style, I guess, but the memes, I don't see it. If you see where they are talking about memes in anywhere, maybe it's just that we haven't gotten to memes yet because the internet hasn't taken off to that point yet. But I don't know. If you know what they're talking about when they talk about memes, let me know in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, give that like button some love, and I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. What the heck? What even is this anymore? See ya.